2023 is definitely going to be an interesting year for games, and I've accumulated a small list of them that I'm actually really interested in that will hopefully be coming out this year. Now that the effects of lockdown have hopefully started to wear off, we'll get everything that I mentioned within this video, but I'm not going to mention some other games as there's currently no guaranteed release for some of them to be coming out this year. This video will have three main categories. You're going to have skeptical, interested, and then looking forward to. I would have said hyped instead of looking forward to, however I'm not particularly hyped for any single game at all. I think the best place for us to start is going to be looking at the ones that I'm interested to see the outcome of. Now, interested does not mean hyped, it just means that I'm interested to see what happens with them, which is why I've put it as the first category, as it's not as juicy as the games that I'd be skeptical about, but it's also nowhere near as hyped as something, let's say, like the looking forward to section. But the first game on my list is going to be Forspoken. Now, this game is one that I haven't really looked massively into, however, everything that I've seen about it seems fairly interesting. The game looks enjoyable to play anyway, but I haven't found myself overly invested just yet. It should hopefully be coming out this month, but you never know based off the delays of the gaming world right now, but it seems like a really interesting fantasy game. But based off some of the gameplay demos, honestly, I'm not fully sold on it just yet. I think it will definitely be an interesting game to see where it ends up. However, I'm only going to be looking at some of the videos to actually make a justified reason of whether or not I will purchase this game. And the next game on this list is going to be Hogwarts Legacy. Again, this game is one that I've seen little bits of overall, but I'm not that particularly impressed. What we've seen, from my point of view anyway, seems to be trying to push on people's nostalgia of this franchise. Overall, I'm interested to see how this game goes, not because I want it to be something that does amazingly well because it's a Harry Potter based thing, but simply because I think it would be a nice change of pace for me and overall people within the gaming world to play something that might be a little bit more relaxed that isn't a first person shooter at mass anyway. I think this will be one of the first games in a very long time to break the mold of the FPS world just because of the size of the Harry Potter fan base. And then lastly, I've got Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I'm definitely interested to see how this game goes because I've heard so many good things about Breath of the Wild and I'll be playing through it soon enough within this year. Overall, I can't wait to see what they do with another Zelda game, and it might give me something to jump straight into after Breath of the Wild. I'm happy to see how it goes from an observer, someone who isn't massively into the Zelda franchise. I'm looking forward to playing through Breath of the Wild, let alone hopefully another game similar to it. Now let's get into the juicy part of this video, which is going to be the games that I'm skeptical about. The first on this list is going to be Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now, I am massively skeptical about this game, as honestly I don't understand how anyone can be looking forward to this game and letting themselves get hyped. After everything that we've got from Valhalla and that game's DLCs, and on top of that, Odyssey. Now, I'm very pessimistic about this game down to two key things. One is that we haven't had any form of gameplay trailer, and it kind of irritates me for one key reason, and that is that Ubisoft do not have the good faith with their fans to justify trying to get fans to purchase and pre-purchase a game when they haven't shown us anything that actually shows us a proper game. All we've got is cinematic trailers, so for now on, I'm going to be holding myself back from getting hyped about this game. I'm not going to lie, I will definitely be getting this on day of release, purely because I will be able to make videos about it and discuss this game, get some views, and talk about a franchise that I really love. But I am very pessimistic about this purely because I'm not letting myself get hyped up, as Assassin's Creed Valhalla I was really hyped up for, initially leading up to it, thinking that it was going to be this amazing kind of slight return to old form, but with the new taste of Assassin's Creed, and then we didn't get it. Another part of the reason why I'm skeptical is because it is based off of Assassin's Creed Valhalla's assets, and honestly that does not make me hyped in any way for the parkour system, you know, one of the key factors of Assassin's Creed, and also the fact that the combat in Valhalla wasn't particularly that great, and I'm just hoping that we get actual moments to be an assassin. But one thing that I will say is that for this franchise, I do not live in hope. I live in the skeptical reality of what the Assassin's Creed franchise has become, which is simply Ubisoft's cash cow that somehow keeps delivering. The next game that I'm looking at through a skeptical lens is going to be Skull and Bones. This could be coming out this year, but honestly, who knows at this point? It's a game that's been, pushed back for however long it has been now. But to me, honestly, this game seems like it's not going to be getting released at the right time of gaming. You've got a game that was built off the back of Assassin's Creed Black Flag's gameplay and has been in development from Ubisoft for such a massive amount of time now. Now, this might sound perfectly fine to some of you, but again, Ubisoft are in my bad graces right now, so it's not going to be anything more than a skeptical release for me. Now, to me, Assassin's Creed Black Flag did not blow up due to the key reason of its gameplay. It was the fact that it was the change in formula from the baseline Assassin's Creed gameplay that we were used to this pirate experience. People did not play this game because of the pirate experience. They played it because it was an Assassin's Creed game first, but with the change in formula. It wasn't that people wanted to play a pirate game, or at least the mass majority of people did not play it because of that. They played it for the Assassin's Creed elements first, and then found themselves falling in love with the way the game was played and the way the story was structured. So I do think that there is a fundamental flaw in Skull and Bones, which is that its belief system is built off this idea that people want to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but just the gameplay elements of that game. Maybe some extra bits here and there. But overall, I think this game is being released at the wrong time in history. I think Sea of Thieves is a good example, because if people truly wanted this entire mechanic and this pirate game, I would have thought that Sea of Thieves would be way bigger than it is currently. I think Sea of Thieves is an amazing game. However, it did not live up to this mass amount of hype around the idea of a pirate game, and this is why I'm heavily skeptical of Skull and Bones. Now, the last thing on my list is not a game, but in fact a DLC. Lightfall for Destiny. I was on the edge of hype for this for quite a while, but I would not let myself commit to it. The history of Destiny is getting hyped for new things and falling prey to the sunk cost fallacy. We end up only continuing playing this game because we've already spent so many hours in this, and then it becomes hard to walk away. I'm interested in the idea of bringing Destiny onto a new path, one that is no longer linked to the light versus darkness, and maybe allows them to enter a new step of the Destiny franchise. However, I am very skeptical of this, as over the last 8 years, Bungie has only given us 2 to maybe 3 really good DLCs. And that is saying something over 8 years where, half of those, if not more of those years, had more than one DLC release. So that is why I'm very skeptical of this. But now we're going to jump into the games that I'm hyped for. But now, let me just mention this again. Hyped does not necessarily mean that I'm excited so much that I'm jumping out of my chair when I see the trailer. It is simply that I'm looking forward to it, and I will probably get it on release. And that first game is going to be Starfield. Now, this one is going to be a big release this year, as honestly, it's the first showcase of Bethesda's talents in a very long time. Now, obviously, you had Fallout 76, but this is the first game that is going to be a true Bethesda Game Studios game from its core standpoint, and honestly, I can't wait to see what Bethesda have to offer. Now, the main reason why, though, that I actually care about this game is honestly that it will give us a sneak peek into what Elder Scrolls 6 will be like and the quality of that game. The more that I've seen from interviews and the gameplay reveal, honestly, it's made me definitely take on the idea that I'm going to be buying this game on launch, for 2 reasons. One is because the game looks decent, and the other is because I'll be able to make content around it. The next and final game that I'm going to be talking about is going to be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. This game's trailer honestly just made me hyped even more than I was for a sequel to the original. But the thing that truly made me hyped for the next game in this entire franchise was the first game's release. I found that game ended up making me want to play the second one as much as possible before there was even a conversation properly around the idea of there being a second game. It was one of the few games in recent memory that actually made me enjoy the full experience of playing it through. And from what we've seen from the gameplay anyway that we got within the little trailer, it does look like we're going to be getting a decent game overall. However, my main thing will still be there that I'm hoping that they avoid, which is power tripping within this game. It looks up to scratch to what we got within the first game, but hopefully with a bit more better settings for different things and just upgrading on everything that we already had beforehand. Now, those are my most anticipated games for 2023, and we'll see what the year has to come, and we'll probably look back on this video at some point in the future when I come around to making videos about all of these games, if I decide to get all of them anyway. But yes, that is everything that I'm looking forward to. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, do subscribe for more content. Any games that you have on your list, let me know down below in the comments, and if you want to join memberships, you can as well, and help support the channel. And with that all being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.